Hello guys, again these are the weekly vlogs of the book Geronimo Stilton. So today I am going to read the first part of the book. Actually these are not weekly. It can be hourly, daily or weekly. So let's continue. It's a nice book. Do you like dragon, wizards and talking lizard? I like dragon, I like wizards but not talking lizards. The dragon of fortune. Oh, such a nice diamond ring. It's me, Geronimo Stilton in the fur. Getting ready, I am returning to the magical kingdom of fantasy. The golden heart. 1,000 silver violins. It all started one spring at the crack of dawn. I was having a dream. No scratch that I was having a nightmare. I tossed and turned and tossed and turned and tossed and turned. In my dream, a familiar face hovered over me. Was it Blossom, the sweet queen of the fairies? It sure looked like her, but when I peered closer, a shiver ran down my little fur. It wasn't Blossom at all. It was Wither, Blossom's evil twin sister. You can see Wither. See? That's Wither. Oh, you can't see. She was surrounded by strange flying creatures. They looked like witches with wings. In fact, they were the dark fairies. The dark fairies grabbed their silver violin and began to play. Unfortunately, it wasn't happy dance music. You know that kind makes you want to kick up your paws. The melody was disturbing. When the fairies began to sing, or this we want. The time is right. The way is on. Enter the night. What did that mean? It couldn't be good. The dark fairies are not known for their kind-hearted nature. I woke up squeaking. Then I jumped out of the bed. So fast I jumped right out of my pajamas. Well, okay, I didn't really jump out of my pajamas, but you get the idea. What a nightmare. Here it says, enter the night. Oh, this we want, the time is right, the veil is on, enter the night. I rubbed my eyes, trying to erase the image of those dark fairies I had met during one of my recent trips to the kingdom of fantasy. On that trip, Wither had ordered the fairies to imprison her sister. Luckily, not to brag or anything, I saved the day. That's right, I rescued Blossom as reward. The queen named me Prince Fearless, Prince of the Winged Ones. She also gave me a pair of cool blue wings and a blue winged ring. The ring had special powers. It allowed me to travel to and from the kingdom of fantasy. Just thinking about my fantastic adventures. Adventures made me smile. Don't get me wrong, these trips were never easy. They were filled with dangerous treks, wicked spells, and horrifying creatures. But the friends I made in the kingdom of fantasy were worth it. The dark fairies imprisoned Blossom, but I rescued her. As reward, the queen gave me the winged ring. It's nice. Right. Then I noticed the clock on my nightstand. Rats. I was late for work. I threw my clothes and raced outside. It was first day of spring and I expected to see the sun shining, flowers blooming and birds singing in the blue sky. Instead, there was a freezing northern wind. The sky was filled with grey clouds and only birds were black crows, shirking caw 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 caw, caw caw, caw caw, caw. You couldn't smell the sweet scent of flowers. Instead, there was a disgusting scent of sulfur. Thick grey cloud made it hard to see. Wow. What is the shape of the sky? I don't know. It was strange. No. The strangest? No. The super strangest spring morning. Next chapter. Flap, flap, flap. Still, what could I do? I had to get to office, so I grabbed a coat and scarf and left. Brrr, it was cold. My whiskers froze. As I raced down the foggy street, I noticed something else that was strange. All the rodents I passed had dark circles under their eyes. They looked like they hadn't slept a wink. Good morning, I called Bobby Babblesnout, the mouse who ran newsstand. How are you? Exhausted, Bobby mumbled, his eyes half closed. For some reason, I was tossing and turning all night. What is the shape of the sky? I don't even know what it is. Again, what is the shape of the sky? It looks like the phoenix of destiny. So it's the latest part, the dragon of fortune. Very nice. Next, I passed the florist, Miss Gardena. She had bags under her eyes too. She was yawning up the storm. How strange. Finally, I spotted my friend. Petunia, pretty paws. Pedaling on her bike, I waved, but she didn't see. She just started straight ahead with a sleepy, glazed look in her eyes. What was going on? A chill ran down my fur, and this time it wasn't from the cold. A minute later, I heard a sound of flapping wings. Flap, flap, flap. It felt like someone was tapping me on the shoulder. A ghost. I shivered. Then I spotted snow white feather on the ground. I picked it up. I wondered where the feather came from, but there was no time to figure it out. I was late. At last, I arrived at the Rotten Gazette. Frozen fur balls. I almost forgot to introduce myself. In case you don't already know, my name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. I am the publisher of the Rotten Gazette, the most fab-mouse newspaper on North Island. Snore. Zzz. Here was I. Ah yes, I was standing at the door to my office when I heard the most peculiar sound. Zzz. It sounded like a whole bunch of mice snoring. How strange. It was trap. Holy cheese balls! What has happened? Everyone sleeping? Yes, everyone is sleeping. I entered the office and gasped. Almost everyone was sleeping. What a snowfest! I hated to break up the slumber party, but how else could we find out what was going on? So cleared my throat and spoke really loudly. Good morning, everyone. My co-workers woke up with a start, rubbing their eyes and complaining. What a terrible sleep I had last night. Me too, I dreamed strange fairies dressed as black. Me too, they were playing silver violins. Everyone gathered around trying to figure out why they all seem having the same crazy nightmare. I listened, but I didn't say a word. I was thinking, could these dreams have something to do with the wither and the dark fairies? No, that wasn't possible. The dark fairies in the kingdom of fantasy. Dark fairies lived in the kingdom of fantasy. I'm sorry for the distraction. Again, sorry. Now let's continue. The dark fairies lived in the kingdom of fantasy, not in real world. Suddenly, a nagging thought hit me. A while ago, I misplaced the winged ring that the blossom, the queen of fairies, gave me. It is the ring that can transport me to the kingdom of fairies of the fantasy. Luckily, I found it and I put it in my nightstand drawer for safekeeping, but it was still there. Oh, nice. Oh yeah. What is the shape of the sky? The phoenix of destiny. No one on Mouse Island knew about the ring, but it suddenly worried. I scampered home to check on the enchanted ring. Outside, the weather had gotten worse. The air was freezing, the fog was thick, and the wind was strong. It was messing up previously good for a day. It was then that I heard the strange sound. Flap, flap, flap. I turned around, but again I didn't see anything. On the ground, I spotted another feather as white as snow. Yeah, feather as white as snow. So it's the next chapter. Hoo hoo hoo. So guys, that's all for the part 1. So the next part I will be releasing in an hour or something like that. So bye till then. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, people.